Hello and welcome to video 2. It's Dr. Erin. I again want to congratulate you for being here and taking the time to invest in yourself and your knowledge of how to sell in a way that feels really great to you, because if you don't sell, you can't sustain your message. And you're here because you have an impact you want to make on people's lives. You want to influence people. And the way that we do that is through connection and ultimately through selling our services and products and goodness to people that can benefit from it. So I want to take you through my 4-step sales process that I like to call Mind the Gap. Now, let's explain what the gap is. So the gap is that place where your client currently is. It's that place between that where they're currently existing to where they want to be. And your job is to figure out what that gap is, why it's so important to them that they want to close the gap, what they've done to try to close the gap before, how important it would be and what it would look like to them if they actually closed the gap. And then your job is to really close the gap by closing the sale. Okay, so let's talk about how to meaningfully connect with people, grow your influence, grow other people's lives through the value that you bring. Okay, so the 4 steps to minding the gap. The first step is you want to help your client identify the gap. So a great question for this is, tell me, what are your goals in your business for the next year? Now, there's a psychology of quantifying that time frame for people. It's much easier for someone to think about what do they want to accomplish in the next year versus tell me about your goals in your business. That can be too big, it can feel too broad, it can feel overwhelming. So there's magic really in asking, what do you want to accomplish in your business in the next year? Another great question for this is, what would it take to double your business in the next year? Again, I love that specificity around doubling your business, okay? So you want to ask them, like, what is the big goal here? That's how you're going to have them identify the gap. So step 1, identify the gap. Step 2 is you want to widen the gap. What I mean by this is you want to help your clients see why this is so important to them. You want to help them realize, have they been struggling with this for a long, long time? You want to help them understand and really revisit why it's so important to them. So a great question for this is, gosh, it sounds like this, that's an awesome goal you have that you just told me. Tell me a little bit about, like, what would that mean to you if you actually reached that goal? What have you done in the past to try to accomplish that goal? And what did and didn't work? So they're going to really walk themselves through the process of why it's so important. So you're increasing the value for them to meet that goal that they just said they wanted to accomplish. Okay, so the step number 2 is widen the gap. Okay, what would it look like for you to meet that goal, and what would it look like for you if you didn't do anything and you stayed the same and you had yet another year where you didn't reach that goal? And they will tell you how painful that will be. So the 3rd step is to bridge the gap. Here you want to you are the bridge. So your services, your products are the bridge. So you can ask a question like, so if you could solve that problem, what would that mean to you? So if you could double your business in the next year, what would that mean for your family? What would that mean for you? What would that mean for your business? And they'll tell you, they might say, I'll probably, not get divorced because my husband's sick of me spending all my money on my business. Or I could finally take my children to Disneyland. And you get to kind of really understand your clients' true desires, the experiences they want to have in their life, why these goals are so important to them. So you're going to, again, 3, bridge the gap. And so here is where you move into talking about how you can solve their problem. So you can say something like, so let me hear you straight. If I heard you correctly, you want to accomplish this. So you're just rephrasing, you're mirroring back what you heard them say is their goal. You've tried this, that didn't work. You've also tried this, that didn't work. It's super important to you because of what they just told you. So you're mirroring back everything. Now, if I could tell you that I could help you solve that problem, how excited would you be about that? And they're going to say, oh my gosh, tell me, that would be great. You say, well, I actually have a program that helps people specifically with the problems that you just mentioned. Would it be okay if I told you about that right now? I always ask permission, because then you move out of that space of convincing and you move into the space of, I just did what you asked me to do, which is tell you about my program. So it's a very, very pivotal move in a sales conversation is asking permission. And then you want to close the gap. So you want to say, and you want to have some posture around this. And posture just means you believe in what you do, right? And you want to say, I help people with exactly what you said. This is how I do that. I have this program that does that exactly. And you bridge the gap and you close the gap. And you may not have even started talking yet about how much this is going to cost or the price. And so when they say, yes, this sounds great, that sounds amazing, oh my gosh, it sounds perfect for me. Great, I'll say, great, let's get started. And they may ask, of course, at that point, well, how much is it? And then you get to go into that and you get to say how much it is and you get to deal with their objections. So that really is the 4 steps to sales success. 1, identify the gap. 2, widen the gap. 3, bridge the gap. And 4, close the gap. So the biggest mistake that I see us making in sales conversations is we talk way more than we listen. And so if you'll notice, most of that sales conversation that I just described is me asking the client questions. Now, they're very specific questions that are purposeful, but I am leading people through the questions that I want to have in a sales conversation. Because if you are Santa Claus and you are going to deliver the right and perfect gift, you have to know exactly what is on that person's wish list. And there is no way you can know what's on their wish list without asking them what's exactly on their wish list. Okay? We never want to assume that the service we have is a perfect fit for them. No, we want them to realize, oh my goodness, your services are the perfect fit for me. So the biggest mistake people make in sales, I think, is they talk way more than they listen. So you want to be asking those really great questions. And then last, I think you now realize that sales really is about serving and connecting. So everything you're doing in these sales conversations is really connecting with the person, understanding what problem do they need fixed? What solution do they need? What have they tried? What have they, wow, they've really been trying hard. You can edify that in the person. Really share with them and see, wow, you've really been working hard at that. I can see how important this goal and this dream is for you. So really, you can monetize your mission now and you can grow your influence and income through selling with heart and selling with soul and selling with a really authentic, beautiful, genuinely caring sales conversation. I cannot wait to hear how these 4 steps change things for you and grow your business, and in the process, help you help so many people. So have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next email. Bye.